right, guys, welcome back to Behind the Gate, Greensboro-based podcast. Y'all know me, Andrew Westmoreland, and we're here today at a staple in Greensboro, and really statewide. It's a well-known, loved, scary place to be, Woods of Terror. We're here with the owner, Eddie, who I just met, really cool guy. I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about the history of the land here and the family heritage and whatnot. But I'm going to let my man take it over here. Eddie, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
Thanks for having me.
People here at McLaurin Farms, Woods of Terror, they know the name. Not everybody knows the person.
Yeah.
If somebody says, hey, Eddie, what do you do? How do you explain that?
Well, I say, well, I own a haunted attraction. And then they go, what's that? And then I say, I own a haunted house, but not a house haunted by spirits, it's entertainment. So they pay me money and they go through the woods and I scare people. And still a lot of people are like, you do that for a living? I go, yes, that's what I do for a living. So, and a lot of people know what Woods of Terror is, but there's a big industry out there, a lot of people that don't know what haunted houses are. They're just not into them. Yeah,
well, you were just mentioning before we got on here, some people, they come for their first time, like, oh man, that was really great. I thought it would just be some black plastic. And yeah.
I don't know what people think, but man, we've been 35 years here. And I said, in 2005, I said, no more black plastic. 2009, no more black robes. We upped our costumes. So we've been upping our game here every year. And honestly, I think you could come here. If you can't go to Halloween Horror Nights, come here. I had a guy this year told me this was a poor man's Disney. So I thought that was a great compliment.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you for sharing that. A day in the life of Eddie around the farm, the haunted house. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we get up early in the morning. I know a lot of people probably think I work 4 or 5 hours a day, and I tell them I only work half days. I work the first 12 or the second 12. It's whichever one I need to do. So 12 hours, we call it a farm. People say, hey, what do you grow? I said, we don't grow anything like plants or vegetables, but we grow memories. We're here to make memories, lifetime memories, come back with your friends. And so we're working, a lot of my guys are like, come in tonight, they're like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, man, I worked all day and then I worked all night. So we'll work anywhere. The pirate ship this year, we were a little behind. So in 45 days, 8 of us worked 12 hours a day and we got that thing knocked out. You ought to go check it out. But 12 hours a day here. And but me working for myself, I love it. It is my family farm. I found a different way to keep the farm. I've been telling people, when I was 12, my grandfather come and told me he was selling all the cattle on the farm, and I'm like, what's going to happen to the farm? And so it got given away, some of it got sold, and so as short as or long as 20 years ago, I only owned one piece, and as of today, I've bought almost every bit of it back. I own it all now, thank goodness, and I got a little bit more to get back, but I'm going to be able to get it all back. I found when my grandfather died, I found when my great-grandfather bought it in 1940.
Holy shit.
So I'm glad to have it back, and we've made a way to make a living off the farm, and me and my wife have had a great time running this and entertaining the people.
And how long has it been open?
So this year is 35 years. So started in 1991. It's been 35 years.
Goodness. And I would say a lot of people around here in Greensboro, like, it's exciting. Fall comes around, you're like, oh, Woods of Terror. They know of that, and you just hit on kind of some of your family side of that. Let's dig into that a little bit more, kind of explain more of the heritage of it and what that means to you.
Well, it's like I said, I just knew when I was younger I wanted to have the farm. I didn't even know anything about haunted houses. I just knew that I wanted to own the farm, live on the farm, whether it was raising black Angus cattle, whatever it was. So, over the next couple of years, I thought, I met some guys, we started Woods of Terror, and I thought maybe I could make enough money to buy some of the land. And really that was just a pipe dream. And but I tell people all the time, there was no plan B for me. This was plan A, and there was no plan B. So I had some tough times, man. I say, Woods of Terror was not really that profitable until probably 4 or 5 short years ago, when we started hitting our stride and everything's coming together. And really, it's about the team I got. Man, I got the best maintenance man. I got the best audio man, the best carpenter, the best set designer. And I say I'm lucky, but I worked hard for it. But when you got the right team, what is it? You got the team, you make the dream work. So
yeah, teamwork, dream work.
Yep.
No, having a good team is crucial. And, you hit on something there, the hard work that went into it and the profitability maybe only kicked in 4 or 5 years ago. That was kind of a great segue to my next question. At what point in that 35, like at what point were you like, man, this could be big. I want this to be this huge experience, and kind of how it's turned into?
Well, a couple of things that happened. So in 2000, I heard of a show called Transworld, and that's the biggest Halloween show for our industry. And I started going to the show, and I started meeting people. A great example is Ben Armstrong. He owns Netherworld down in Atlanta, Georgia. And, I said, hey, Ben, what do you do for a living? He goes, I do Halloween. And I was like, no, I do heating and air 40 hours a week. I hate it, and then I work on Woods of Terror at night and on the weekends. What do you do for a living? He goes, no, I do Halloween. And I go, oh, well, that's what I want to do. So over the next 4 or 5 years on Sundays, I used to be closed. I wasn't doing a big enough attendance. I'd hop on planes, go out to Headless Horseman in New York, Randy Bates in Pittsburgh. I'm out in Philly.
He's got a good last name for that.
Yeah, I know, Bates Motel. And I just went and visited what I thought was the top 10, the top 12 in the nation, and started making little adjustments. And then I started hiring a PR lady. I got a media buyer. And the next thing you know, I thought, hey, this might work. And so I used to come out in September and start setting up. And then I started coming out in July. And then it got to where I wasn't stopping. Like, even today, like, I know people would be blown away. Here in 2 weeks, we're getting ready to pull out something, and it's where our new attraction's going. We're going to pour the concrete probably before the January 1st gets here. And if I don't get going, we won't get it done. Our projects are so big, huge, and massive. We got to get going. But so each year, a little more happens that I can make the thing more successful. And then, so probably a couple years ago, actually, in about 2015, I got a year-round permit for the farm. I can work year-round. I don't have to pull a temporary permit. And I started to realize that I might be able to make this happen. And it was all about my attendance, getting my attendance up. And people say, well, word of mouth. But you got to have the people here to see the show to say word of mouth. Yeah. So, and each year it's grown, and I've gotten better every year. One of the things that really sucks about running in the Woods of Terror, I've learned 10 things already this year, but I can't put them into play till next year. If I had a convenience store, I'd just change it the next day.
Yes, sir.
And we would go and make more money. But that's something that's bad. But we've learned some new stuff this year, and it's going on to next year. And I just found out last week there's something in the United States from Transworld. It's called the Legendary Haunt Tour. There's probably only been 24 haunted houses on that. Next year they're coming here. In 2026, November the 6th, they'll be here, and then they're going to go to check out Spooky Woods November 7th. But the Legendary Haunt Tour is coming here, and that's a big honor because not many people's been on that
awesome,
tour.
Dude. Yeah. Congrats on that. Great information. I was going to ask, how do you guys find the inspiration for keeping things fresh? Certainly if I come here 10 years in a row, you want me to have a different experience and keep coming back. So new attractions, how do you get the ideas for that? Are you the person behind that? And then also, and you may have already answered this, kind of how long does that take and how does that develop?
So for 32 years, I felt like I made every decision down to picking the paint and picking the attraction, and it's really exhausting. But so when I met Ryan Bisengard, my set designer, and Nate Fultz, my carpenter, but they both come from Halloween backgrounds, and when they come here, thank goodness, we all have so many ideas. And then we just take all three of our ideas and put them together. It's something, most of what they do is 90% I like. I might say, hey, I want to change this, I want to turn this way. But I probably already know what I'm doing for the next 3 years. Okay. I know what attractions I'm tearing out and what we're building, what we're doing. And you have to kind of stay ahead of the game. It's like I said, where we're putting a new attraction, I had to bobcat it, put in a retaining wall, put the gravel in, all that's done. I did all that this year while building my other attractions. And then so next year we pull these 2 containers out of the way, we build our new attraction. So we're probably about 3 to 4 years out laying the groundwork for what we're doing next.
Is there one attraction that is coming in the oncoming years that you're most excited about that you can share?
Nothing that I can share. So
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of in the haunt industry, there's a lot of copying, and I got to watch it, what I say and what I do. So we want to beat them to the punch. And then, of course, after I expose it, there'll be other ones. But Woods of Terror has been taking pride in doing stuff first, and we're trend setting. Stuff that we've been doing here is now going through North Carolina and going through other states that we're doing first. And, Ryan Bisengard and Nathan, they're bringing a lot of this new stuff to us, and a lot of stuff we're doing out of necessities or selling more tickets. And it just all goes hand in hand. So it's been a great opportunity. I'm glad all these guys are here, and a little less stress on me, but man, our sets are phenomenal. The last 3 years, we've almost changed everything in the woods.
Is there a set here now that people have already seen, and maybe some of your competition, that you're most proud of?
Yeah, I think they're all scattered. You know, when we built attraction, we built this behind us right here, Baba Yaga. You know, hands down, this is the biggest square footage, tallest, widest haunted attraction in the state, probably in 3 states. Obviously, some people want to dispute that, but we can get out the measuring tapes. But, you know, really proud of this, the decorating in here. It is, man.
You just laid it on the table.
Yeah, man. You know, I got a shirt up there. I got a haters gonna hate. You know, 10 years ago, I had a little bit of success, and you got the haters, and I still have haters. And it's like, man, I'm a nice guy and try to get along with everybody. But man, when you're at the top, you're always getting kicked in the rears for something.
Oh, absolutely.
But I loved building the Texas house. I built the back of the Texas house like a pole barn, like my grandfather used to have up there. I put a Studebaker in there. I got the engine hoisted up. I loved building that. And but man, the Calypso house is amazing. The Texas house is amazing. It's hard to pick a favorite, and we do it like that on purpose. I want people to come through, and obviously their choices are their preference. Somebody will say, I love the Asylum, or I love Baba Yaga, or I love Fungus Among Us. You know, Fungus Among Us was driven by culture, The Last of Us coming out, and so I wanted it to be kind of Avatar meets The Last of Us, put them together, bright lights, neon lights, so we can sell more 3D glasses in the front. That's been a favorite, and last year we spent 3 weeks in there. We spent 6 months on Baba Yaga, and then 30% of the people said they like Fungus Among Us better than Baba Yaga, and you're like, what? And but we try to do it like that, where everybody gets a taste of what they like. And next year we're building an attraction that is like nothing we got, something totally new. But we have a great time doing it.
I look forward to that. Yo, we'll have to check it out. We can't let the comp know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Going back to the business side of things, I've heard you mention a couple of things like the 3D glasses to kind of help bring some profitability. Starting Woods of Terror, running it for 35 years, your roots being in Greensboro, kind of as a business person in Greensboro, what's the biggest thing you've learned?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to be prepared for the back end, which is the back end is working with the county. It's a lot of permits, a lot of stuff you have to get approved. That's been the tough part of learning. The good part of learning is, you know, we every year I find another way to make more money, make it profitable, and I wish I'd have known that when I was younger, but hey, now I just think it taught me. When I was younger, I didn't have a lot of money, and I still don't have a lot of money because I put it back into the woods. But it's taught me how to spend money, how to be a better people person, how to buy stuff more frugal. But I've learned a lot. I've run the rampant. I tell people to run a haunted attraction like this, they're few and far and in between people that could do a one this size and this scope. I say you got to be really talented, and I don't know that I'm really talented. I'm determined. I said there's no plan B, but I've surrounded myself with people that are very talented.
Yeah, smart thing to do in business. On that note, you know, kind of tell us a little bit more about Eddie. You know, we kind of heard about the farm and how we got going, but what does Eddie like to do when he's not at Woods of Terror?
Well, you know, I tell people they think I grew up in a horror thing. I didn't. I grew up as a kind of a well sheltered Christian, and still a Christian, but my dad wouldn't let me watch a lot of those movies, so I had to play catch up. But it's really not about the horror aspect. It's like when I was a kid, I wanted to build a tree fort or a tree house. It's more about that, building the show and then watching the people come in and enjoy it, or somebody going, there's no way you can build that. Like the thing we're building next year, they're going to be like, how did the people at Woods of Terror build that? Because that's something you would see at Universal. And so as far as Eddie, you know, I play a character named Bone Daddy. You know, Bone Daddy would probably say more stuff about the copycats and all that more than I would. But, you know, they got to like...
Hey, man, if you need to shift personalities, that's okay.
It's a character.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, I put on a crown, and I was like, Bone Daddy's the king of Halloween. And, boy, you should have seen all the haters. But, you know, it's all in fun, man. I didn't do all this to be bored in my life. But, man, we have fun, and I'm going to tell you...
That's the episode name, Bone Daddy.
Yep.
Nobody does Halloween better.
Yep, King of Halloween. I already got the .com and the Facebook in case they want to go grab it. I already got it. Don't waste your time. But man, I tell you, trying to enjoy life, man. We're gonna go to Punta Cana this year. I love going down there. That's
Where are y'all
amazing.
staying in Punta Cana?
La Posada.
Okay.
Man, you got to check that place out. First time we went, I was like, man, this is 5-star. Catalonia, I think. Then we go to La Pisana, and like, man, that was a 1-star. But we've been there now 4 times going back, and then a bunch of our Halloween friends lived in Costa Rica and Florida, and now we're all going down to Costa Rica. So for 3 short months there, I'm going to pack in about 3 weeks of vacation, go down to Key West for a week.
That'd be nice.
But, you know, and then, man, I'll drag a trailer with me, go antiquing, find some stuff I want to put in the haunted houses, you know, write it off as a business trip. But, and then in March, Halloween show starts, and we're on the building. So we got a lot to do because Legendary's coming, and we want to show them who the best is.
Absolutely. Punta Cana, do you like to fish at all?
I haven't fished there yet, but I would do it. No,
so if you go down to the city there, right there by the, you know, the big rocks are on the right and everything.
Okay, yeah.
I went, we stayed at the Hard Rock, all-inclusive, and we went fishing. The captain's, the first mate's name was Jesus, and I can't remember the captain's name.
Yeah, it's probably John.
Right. But I'm going to tell you what, I'd never gone big game fishing. Yeah. We hit 7 marlin. And we loved it so much, we booked another one like 2 days later for them, and we caught 4 more marlin. And I've got this picture of me holding, I mean, you're just rolling, and then all of a sudden they stop, and he jumps off like 12 feet down, and they pitch to him. Anyway, that was...
So for Costa Rica trip, all the guys are, and my wife, we're all going out on the boat. And then supposedly what we catch that night, we bring it in, the chef meets us, the chef going to cut it up and cook it right there in front of us.
Shit.
So it's going to be a good time. So
that's incredible, man. As we're moving through, are there any traditions you guys do here that are pretty cool you want to share?
Well, man, if you're coming out to Woods of Terror, you might as well come early. So I've been doing an opening ceremony. I've been calling it parade for years. And like I'm saying, as that copycat stage runs through the state, everybody's doing opening ceremonies. I've been doing a parade for 23 years, and they need to see it. Don't miss it. We sing the national anthem. We'll sing a couple other songs. It's an opening of the show. I wanted to say, hey, we're open, and you know we're open. But if you're coming, come early. Come check out that parade. You don't want to miss that. Terror in the Darkness, I've probably been doing that for 23 years. We turn out about 50% of the lights, so you won't be able to see the great sets as much, but it will be scary, and it's a lot scarier in the dark. So, and whatever else you want to ask me.
Yeah, no, we let's go one more question, and then we'll do some rapid fire. And I know you're a busy man. We'll let you go. I thank you so much for your time. Yep. Outside of Woods of Terror, what somebody in the city of Greensboro? I know I brought my son out, and we did the pumpkin patch and hung out, watched him run around. Yeah. What other things do you guys have here that people can enjoy throughout the year?
Well, so we're growing our we call it the fun fest. So we always do it 1 week after the 4th of July. So what I'm doing is if I go down to the beach for the Fun 4th and the next weekend they're coming home, the next weekend I do it. So we shoot fireworks. My fireworks are $12,000 to $15,000.
Holy shit.
I mean, I used to help the guys shoot at grasshoppers. I mean, they're shooting 1s and they're shooting cakes. We're doing 4 and 5s, 280 feet. This year we had about 3,000 people. We're cooking brisket. I would come out and check that out. And so second year this year, we're doing Krampus Christmas. A lot of people don't know what Krampus is. Check that out. Look up what Krampus is. So Krampus is a different, we're more comedy. We have fun. There's less people. And we have like Bad Santa, and he's out here taking pictures. And it's a hoot. I have to go over there. And go, don't say that. There's too many kids here. But be prepared. Krampus Christmas is a lot more fun, and it's off the hook. And it's a great show because we get to go a lot slower. But so we got Krampus, and we've been doing, a lot of people don't know, we're doing Merry Christmas, and that is for kids. We'll do that 2 weekends. So we're doing 2 weekends of Krampus, 2 weekends of Merry Christmas, and just finding ways on the farm to use the infrastructure that I got and to pay all the bills.
I got you.
Because with payroll and taxes and all that, I want to have enough money to go to Punta Cana.
Yeah, well, let me know when you figure out the tax thing. I'm still struggling with that. All right, couple rapid fire questions, and we will wrap. Again, thank you so much. Favorite horror movie? I know you said you didn't start on it.
Yeah, probably Insidious #1. I really like that.
That one got me, too.
Yeah.
My wife, I think I've actually said this on the podcast before, she likes to go to sleep to horror movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we put like a rom-com on? She's like, no, you sure you don't want to watch this? And I'll fall asleep and wake up to some scene. I'm like,
well, you wake up to the wife having bedhead and you go, ah! And she goes, what was that for?
Well, we won't, huh? Allegedly. No, she doesn't. There's no chance. Hey, babe, I did a podcast. That's cool. Did you watch it? No, thanks. Okay, so more fun, building the attractions or watching the reactions of the people going through them?
It's probably the people that come through and say, man, and now I'm getting old. It's like, man, I come to here when I was 18 and now I got my son with me and I'm going, oh my God, how old am I? But having them come back year after year, and I tell you that probably the best thing is to have a 35 to 40-year-old male come and go, man, your show is amazing. You know, they might not have got scared, but to see the craftsmanship and come through and say, man, you got the best show I've ever seen. That's what it's about, is having people come through and tell me how good it is. And now we're getting people coming from West Virginia, Florida, Ohio. This year we had 2 people from Canada, and a guy flew from Vegas to see this and flew home. He saw it. He saw it on some YouTube thing and it said, I'm gonna go check that out. And so having that, man, that's amazing, because it's like, now I want to get a map up and go pin where all these people have come from to see my show.
That's cool, man. Next fire, if there's a celebrity or very famous person, one person that you would love to walk through here and scare the shit out of them, who would it be?
Probably Robert England.
Okay.
Yeah. So for a while I did celebrities. I've had a Pinhead, Gunnar Hansen, he died. I had him. I had Jonathan Brick, Just Jeepers Creepers. I had a lot of those guys come out. And this weekend, you know, Dee lives around here now, Dean Snyder.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he lives here in Oak Ridge, I think, so he's going to come out.
Okay.
And but maybe Robert England, so have him come out and go, wow, this is nice.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, again, man, I can't thank you so much. This is such a staple in Greensboro for me. It's been here for so long, and you know, down again, bringing my son out here and enjoying the farm and seeing this year in and year out. I can't thank you enough for what you do for us and for your time.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you.
Talk to you later.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap.